how much do you roughly make in a year? We are sitting with one of the youngest agency owners that I know, and we're asking him how to start an SMMA business. I'm here with Ahmad. He's 23 years old. We're going to be chatting about his agency, how he started it, how much money he makes. We're uncovering it all today. Let's go. All right, man. So what does your agency specialize in?
Okay, so Ahmad Digital Agencies specializes in website development, in design, branding design and development. Also do graphic design as well, video editing and video creation, and photography. We've recently also added software development and mobile app development and design.
Do you have any sort of certificate or formal degree with regards to marketing?
No, I actually don't. Funny enough, when I finished my matric, my parents were telling me that I should go apply universities, the normal way. I tried applying at UJ, and mind me, I passed with good marks, right? I passed with very good marks, but the course I wanted to do, they didn't want to take me on that in UJ. They said my mathematics results at about 76.
Yo, you got way more than me.
I got about 76. Yeah. And I think I needed about 80. So that's when I had to change. And then I went to UNISA, tried applying there. And UNISA, I tried applying for marketing. It didn't work. I applied, my application went through, and then they told me that no, it's late, you have to come back next year. So in between that year, I have a lot of time to, I didn't just want to sit around. I just wanted to do something. And to be honest, I really didn't, I was only doing it because my parents told me to do it. Deep down, I knew that I wanted to start something outside of like the norm. I don't know, it was just, it's one of those things where I was like, I just want to start something different. I want to do it different, right? Because that time I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I knew that to be at the level that I want to be, I'm not going to go in the same route as my parents did. And we live in an age where things is different now. You can actually achieve a lot of stuff quicker and faster.
All right, we're coming to the question that everyone wants to hear. How much do you roughly make in a year, in a month? You don't have to give specifics, but maybe a minimum as well.
I would say as an agency, in a bad month, where like there's not a lot of clients or a lot of work, I would say minimum 20. Yearly, definitely, we're growing every year. But I remember on the first year that I started the agency, when I was still solo, that year I made 100K. Yeah, so in that year, that was 100K. And funny enough, I only calculated later, because at the time I was still not smart, right? I was still new in running a business, an agency. But when I was calculating, I'm like, no man, for someone who's actually solo, starting out, it's crazy. So what's going to happen in the next 2, 3, 5 years when I'm actually growing the agency? And now it's been crazy. So
yo, man. So let's rewind that a bit. You're 23 now. You made 100K in your first year of business. At what age?
That time I think I was it 19, 20?
Yo, guys, I'm signing out. I didn't do that at 18. I was failing at 18, 19, but wow, man, that's really inspiring. Quick yes or no question. Yeah. Do you believe that people out there need a degree in order to be successful?
I think it depends on the career. Yeah, it depends on the career, because
a doctor's not going to learn from YouTube.
Yeah, a doctor is not going to, like, no one would trust. I wouldn't trust you to work on me if you say that I'm self-taught. Like, so yeah, I don't have a degree, but I did study a few courses in Udemy and other popular websites. I forgot. I have certificates. I only did that just to show my clients, like my first few clients, to say, look, I studied this, you can trust me, because it's hard to actually land a client in the beginning without having any projects to show for. So the only thing I have to show for is a certificate to say that take a chance on me.
Yes, and guys, the certificates that we're talking about, if you want to get involved in digital marketing, it's actually free Google certificates. The benchmark is really high. I mean, I failed my first attempt. I think it's like 80%. But these free courses are in the link in the description down below. And with all of those skills that you offer, what tools, because, it can be difficult trying to get specific clients because they always have tailored needs.
Yeah.
So what tools do you use, whether it's Google ads, Facebook ads, in order to generate your leads?
For Ahmad Digital Agencies? Funny enough, in the beginning, I think we've only paid for leads at, I think we lasted paying for leads for about 3 months, and it didn't work out for our space, right? Because our space is very competitive. There's a lot of ads, like, you know. But in the beginning, the most leads we got was through SEO, because we optimize our website and things like that, and local SEO as well. And as we started, posting our work on social media and, studying how, the social media platforms work, most of our leads actually come from there.
And what tools do you use in order to implement? So what's your top tier list? Like you have your WordPress, your SEMrush, your type of tools. So on a daily basis, what are your top tools that you use for your business?
To get leads, or just use for the business?
Just use for the business.
Definitely WordPress, number one. Actually, no. Number one is Adobe XD and Figma. That's where the most work is, right? Secondly would be Pinterest and Behance and Dribbble. So these three are used for us getting inspiration.
And how is it running a business on a daily basis?
It's not easy. The good thing is that I am in control of my time, but actually sometimes I'm not in control, right? Because you have to have some level of discipline. I think the amount of work that you put when having a job is the same amount of work you put in as running a business. That's the first thing that I want to make clear. The second thing is, when you're starting out a business, I remember my uncle told me this. My uncle is one of my mentors. And he told me that in the beginning, when you're running a business, you have to be a manager, you have to be an SEO, you have to be a sales consultant, you have to be an accountant. You have to be a lot of things at once, and that's not easy at all. Some of the things I still do solo now, but I think it's better now, especially with the technology now. It has made my life a little bit more easier. But it's not easy. But it's a kind of not easy that you enjoy it, right? It's like you kind of enjoy it. I actually kind of enjoy being busy, running the business and things like that. I think that's because I'm still young. So once my life starts becoming more seriously, having kids, running more than 5 businesses or things like that, obviously at that point in time, I'd have to outsource certain things. But yeah.
From what you're saying, you're an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Is this your only business that you do, or do you have other streams of income? And if you do have other streams of income, just name your top 3. So from the most until the least, you could say.
I do have 2 other different streams of income. My top number 1 obviously is the agency, the digital marketing agency. Number 2, I am involved in the financial markets, industry. That's my second. And then the third one would be tech and gadgets, sort of similar to drop shipping, online, selling phones, laptops, things like that. So, but that's something that no one would know.
So for the people out there who are starting the SMMA journey, what would you suggest that they start with? Video editing, web development, more on your WordPress side. What skill have you found helps you get more clients?
Currently, you're saying currently, right? I think start off with. Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna speak for the South African audience, right? So for the South African audience, definitely get into branding development and design, website development and design. I would say social media marketing as well, but it's I think companies are becoming more smarter now. They don't want to really work with agencies anymore. Like, people are not using that opportunity. Even now, it's like 2 years later now since COVID happened, or 3, right? And still people are not taking the web design and branding design industry or SMMA industry seriously as they should.
Yeah.
Like, they're sleeping on it big time. And every time I meet, people who are in the same industry, they'll be like, no, I'm still struggling with this, but you're not actually putting yourself out there, So I think if we can try to do what the UK content creators, USA content creators are doing in the SMMA space in SA, it would be crazy, and the value would also increase.
You heard it, yeah. Do what Casper does, which is take stuff from the from America and bring it here,
Well, that's how it is.
and it works.
That's what these guys are doing here. Joseph Darius, Ghost Lubies, things like that. People should also do the same in SMMA.
100%. To the, I don't want to say youth, right? Because someone could be 40 watching this. So any South African out there, what advice would you give them? Not only to start their business, but to start an SMMA business specifically. So to not get it twisted, meaning social media marketing agency has been coined or attached to digital marketing agency, right? So yes, we're saying SMMA here, but in general, it's digital marketing that encompasses quite a lot of services. So going back to that, what advice would you give to people out there who want to start their agency? How do they do it, and what should they start with?
Can I give more than one advice? Because I have a lot. I think the first thing is, okay, so when you're starting out an agency as a young entrepreneur, right? I'm going to mention as like a general, but I'm focusing now generally as the young. Is not to be under pressure by what you see on social media, right? I think that was my mistake in the beginning. And also be honest with yourself, right? Before being honest with, the people you're doing business with, be honest with yourself, and that's going to actually release pressure in your work that you're doing. And then for generally any age group, young, old, mid, whatever it is, whoever wants to start out in this industry, I think do your research properly, because as much as there's a lot of things that you can do within the digital marketing space or the SMMA space, do your research on what's feasible in that point in time, what would actually make sense for businesses, what are you offering, what's the solution that you're offering, because some of the industries that people are trying to get in now is already saturated. And I'm not saying it's going to be impossible for you to make it, but we have to be realistic as well. It's going to take a lot of time, right? But I still think that within South Africa, the SMMA industry is growing. Still, I think it's fairly new. I think the guys who are dominating are guys who who have been there for like 20 years before us, right? And they've been doing these things traditionally, billboards, things like that. We have social media, and trust me, they are struggling to run these things in social media. So that's our advantage. So the only thing that they beat us at is that they have projects and presence, by getting clients, right? The third thing I would say would be, do not undervalue what you're offering, right? That's very big, because in the beginning I was undervaluing myself a lot, right? When I mean a lot, I mean people, it's normal for people to see you as a freelancer in the beginning and not, give you problems with payments, and it takes a lot of work. Trust me, it takes a lot of work, guys. What you're doing takes a lot of work, right? Don't undervalue it. It's your time, it's your money. Make sure that you charge what is worth. And how you charge what is worth is not by your needs, because in the beginning I was charging based on what I need, right? Because in the beginning, remember, I started my agency still living with my parents. I was young, and I was charging based on what I wanted to use the money for next week or next month, not what I'm actually providing the value. So a good example would be if Starbucks comes to me and say they want to redevelop their website, I need to take a look at things of how much is Starbucks making per year, how much is this website going to change their business. A good website, is it going to make the conversion rate better? Meaning if the conversion rate is better, they're going to get more clients. So that's how you also charge that, So people don't look at things, even as something as simple as a logo, a good logo. Imagine if the person who designed Nike, the Nike logo, imagine if he or she didn't undervalue their services. How would that be now?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So something as simple as a logo can change a business very, big, massively. So don't undervalue yourself. Never, don't undervalue yourself, guys. Trust me, the amount that you're charging is not what you're supposed to be getting paid for. It's probably 3 times or 5 times that. So I'll just finalize this with one YouTube video I watched. This guy was saying that I think it's Flux Academy, good guys. They're also in the SMMA space, and he mentioned that if you present a price to a client and they don't negotiate, then your price is low.
I like that a lot.
So if they don't negotiate, then your price is low. But as soon as they're like, hey, man, come on, that's when you know that you're at the right, you need to be in control, basically.